Right now this morning, how the city of Baltimore is remembering the deadly Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse on this one-year anniversary. And lacrosse parents, help is coming. A new program could solve your childcare headache and boost local businesses.
Near seasonal average temperatures today. We'll have seasonal average temperatures tomorrow with a warm-up on Friday. More about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Mark Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, March 26th. A lot going on with the weather. You've got a lot going on to keep yourself busy.
Yeah, we
Lots
do.
to track, don't you?
Yeah, we do. In fact, we're going to hold on to that going into warm-up and then, boom, right back into the rain and snow mix. And, yeah, winter rears its little head there getting into our forecast. We'll also be seeing the possibility of nighttime rainfall later on tonight. Now, the models yesterday had this smack dab right over us from about 8:30 all the way into tomorrow morning. Well, it's kind of moved a little bit more to our west and southwest, and we'll see how that all plays out over the next several hours. But that's coming in later on tonight. Right now, we have also limited amounts of that kind of moving through the area. That was this morning. Most of this is tracking now. This is what the track looked like for tonight, but now it has changed significantly. We're also going to be seeing, as we get into it, moisture is still working across the northern tier of the nation. High pressure is building out over the Rockies, and that's also pushing moisture down toward the Gulf. As that happens, they'll get more rain and snowfall and thunderstorm activity. We'll start to see this coming back again as we get into Friday. And in fact, maybe into Saturday as well, holding on to some moisture still along the coast coming up from the Caribbean. We've got the moisture you can see working across the area, and more of that rainfall turning into storm activity possibly over the next day or so down by the Gulf. I'll have more about this for you in a moment. I'll return back to Alexandra. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Happening today, a former Minnesota state senator faces a judge after new evidence surfaces. Justin Eichhorn was one of 13 men arrested last week in a prostitution sting targeting those looking for underage victims. Prosecutors blocked his planned release to a halfway house after finding a gun and wiped phone in his apartment. Bloomington's police chief suggests this may not have been Eichhorn's first attempt at soliciting a minor.
And one of the law enforcement sources asked me, do you know you got a state senator in your jail? And I said, no. And I called the jail. They didn't even know who Justin was. So, I mean, we had no idea who he was.
Governor Tim Walz announced a special election for Eichhorn's seat to be held April 29th. Eichhorn is set to appear in court at 10:15 this morning. In Monroe County, a former nurse is accused of having a sexual relationship with a patient. 29-year-old Melissa Knutson was part of the county's Department of Health and Human Services. She initially told police she was raped by a patient and delayed reporting due to fear of threats. But text messages allegedly revealed she initiated the relationship, then attempted to conceal it. Knutson is free on a $2,500 cash bond. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem heads to El Salvador's mega prison today. Up to 20,000 inmates are housed at the notorious Center for Terrorism Confinement, or CECOT. That facility now holds 261 alleged Venezuelan gang members sent there by the Trump administration last week. Noem is also expected to meet with El Salvador's president. And President Trump and other top U.S. officials are downplaying a military leak from a group chat on the message app Signal. This as the National Security Agency warns the app is vulnerable to foreign hackers. Now some Democrats on Capitol Hill are calling for leaders involved to step down. One of those leaders called the ordeal, quote, embarrassing. CBS News' Jared Hill reports.
There was no classified information, as I understand it.
President Donald Trump continued to downplay concerns over his national security advisor, accidentally adding reporter Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic to a group chat discussing military attacks against Houthi rebels in Yemen.
Somebody that was with Mike Waltz, worked for Mike Waltz at a lower level, had, I guess, Goldberg's number or called through the app.
But late Tuesday, Waltz took responsibility.
A staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the group.
Though he denied knowing Goldberg. CBS News has learned that just last month, the National Security Agency issued a warning that Signal is a target of Russian hackers. On Capitol Hill, Republicans are pushing for more answers.
I trust there'll be a thorough investigation and we'll get to the bottom of it.
As some Democrats call for Waltz and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to be fired.
There's got to be accountability. somewhere in this administration.
Hegseth is pushing back.
Nobody's texting more plans. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Amid the conversations over national security, Tuesday, President Trump signed major executive orders he says tackle election security. Orders requiring proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections and barring mail-in ballots received after Election Day.
Election experts predict President Trump's executive order will face court challenges. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance announced he'll join his wife on a trip to Greenland this week, along with National Security Advisor Waltz. The visits are causing concern in the Danish territory, especially given the president's repeated calls for U.S. takeover. Happening today, UW La Crosse students will march for gender equality and campus safety during the Women for Women's March. That event starts with sign making at 11 a.m., followed by a rally at the campus clock tower at noon. Organizers from college Democrats and college feminists have invited all students and community members to participate. The nonpartisan race for state superintendent is heating up. In a press call, Republican-backed Brittany Kinzer leaned into her support for Act 11. The 2023 law increased the amount of money allocated to private school choice programs.
The bipartisan bill that gave more money to all the schools. So all of the schools got more money. It also gave more money to students who receive vouchers living below a certain income.
Kinzer is taking on Democratic-backed incumbent Jill Underly. Another roadblock for UW La Crosse's Science Center expansion, the Prairie Springs Science Center project facing uncertainty after a tied vote in Madison. Governor Evers' budget includes $149 million for phase 2 of the center, but the State Building Commission deadlocked 4-4 on recommending any construction projects. This setback makes it less likely the legislature will include the Science Center in its budget draft. In a statement, La Crosse Assemblywoman Jill Billings calling that vote a disappointing setback, but emphasized the work is not done. She noted this marks the 4th budget cycle UWL has requested funding, saying it is past time for approval. Today marks 1 year since the tragic collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore that killed 6 construction workers. Maryland officials joined victims' families to lay 6 wreaths on the river, one for each person who died. A federal report released last week found the bridge was almost 30 times over the acceptable risk level for critical bridges. The collapse happened when the Dolly container ship struck the bridge last March.
There's no place that's more appropriate to commemorate the anniversary of one of the most traumatic moments in our state's history than to be out here with the families, to be out here with so many of the first responders and the teams, to understand that there were 6 Marylanders who we lost that day, and everything that has happened in that past year, it starts and it ends with them.
And as we take a live look, here it is. This is of the site of the bridge. The NTSB now recommending urgent vulnerability assessments for 68 bridges in 19 states. A final report into the Key Bridge collapse is due out this fall, and they will start working on a new one. And today's anniversary comes as disaster declarations nearly doubled nationwide. The U.S. saw 90 major disaster declarations last year. That's far above the average of 55. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration reports 27 weather events causing more than $1 billion in damages each. 41% of Americans live in counties where disasters were declared last year. Many scientists point to climate change as the driving force behind the increase. And to help prepare for disasters, Iowa will test its tornado warning system today. The statewide drill starts at 10 a.m. Tornado sirens and National Weather Service radios will sound during the exercise. This is part of Nebraska and Iowa's Severe Weather Awareness Week. Eau Claire City Council rooting for trees with a new protection plan. The resolution updates how trees are cared for, the approved species list, and licensing fees for tree companies. It'll also establish an urban forestry board in one of the city's departments. Eau Claire's tree ordinance hasn't been updated since 1970. The changes come after residents complained about trees being removed for construction projects.
It's a street is being redone, and all of a sudden all the street trees start disappearing along the street. People have noticeable, they'll sort of opens up their entire neighborhood and doesn't have a canopy. The sun beats down on the street.
The resolution doesn't officially update the ordinance, but it does start the process. Local businesses and struggling parents getting a lifeline in La Crosse's childcare crisis. The city is partnering with the Parenting Place to create the new Together We Can program that reimburses local employers for partnering with local childcare businesses. News 8 Now's Allison Ferget explains.
Every day in the Cooley region, thousands of parents drop their kids off at childcare on their way to work. But a lack of childcare options is creating problems.
When parents don't have reliable childcare, they cannot go to work.
Studies have found that the childcare crisis is costing businesses billions.
We are hearing from employers that they are wanting to look for an option, a way to support their employees' childcare needs.
So the Parenting Place, in partnership with the city, created Together We Can. The program reimburses La Crosse employers up to 50% of their investment when they partner with a local childcare business.
Whether that be reserved childcare slots, waitlist priority, tuition discounts, that partnership is up to the employer and the childcare program.
Childcare providers like VARC know firsthand how beneficial these partnerships can be. Around a year ago, they partnered with Amplify to reserve childcare slots for the health system's employees. VARC used the money Amplify spent on the slots to significantly increase employee wages.
And that has contributed to keeping classrooms open, keeping really high quality teachers, and it's even gotten people to come back to the center.
And Filter says that outside-the-box partnerships like VARC and Amplify's benefit more than those directly affected.
It just makes sense, I think, for businesses to be invested in childcare within their community, and it behooves everyone to be thinking about how critical and how much of a need supporting childcare really is.
Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now this morning.
Applications are open now. You can contact the Parenting Place to learn more. The time now is 6:13. Still ahead on your morning news. Time is running out to file your taxes, what you need to know as the deadline approaches, and why you're paying more at the pump as Wisconsin gas prices surge and Wisconsin Coke cans being recalled for possible contamination. And the cost of college has skyrocketed in the past few decades. Coming up, we'll have more on what Harvard's doing to help. And for now, we'll take another live look at the Francis Scott Key Bridge site 1 year after the deadly collapse that changed Baltimore forever when those 6 construction workers died. The NTSB revealing the bridge was nearly 30 times above the acceptable risk threshold. Officials are now working on other bridges across the country, and they do plan to rebuild this one. Stay with us. We have more news coming up after the break.
If that was money. Yeah. That's a sick bike.
Boys.
Miss Sanderson?
See you Monday.
No way.
In 1925, a new furniture store opened its doors in Fountain, Minnesota. The business was called the Fountain Furniture Company. Today, 100 years and 4 generations later, we're Drury's, where you'll find a focus on principles that have given us staying power. Handle quality furniture, maintain a professional staff, and a commitment to customer service. We invite you to stop in and find out for yourself how this big store in a tiny town has lasted. Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Family owned for 100 years.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin family-owned turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or get over $5,300 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
This is Tony, and this is Tony's Good Feet story.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job. Before my arch supports, I felt defeated, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I'm more positive.
Clinically proven. Significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out. I would recommend it to anyone.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in. Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right. If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
Well, good morning to you and welcome back here. As I mentioned before, high pressure is building up over the Rockies and eventually it's going to be tracking a little bit more to the east in our location. Let's push this button here to let you see what's happening. We'll get into it here, as you can see, as we go right into through Wednesday and eventually going through Thursday, where temperatures are going to be more seasonal. All that yellow and orange kind of working in the forecast here. We'll take it into Friday and local temperatures are going to warm up into the widespread 70s for us. And then boom, just like that, we'll take it into the overnight and local temperatures will start to cool on down. And it'll bring us into this. Yeah, colder air coming out of Canada as well as spilling out of the Rockies as well. You can see it from the northern tier working into it and continuing to drop all the way down on us until we get into Monday, where the temperatures are going to bottom out and eventually start to warm up as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Right now, temperatures though, widespread of the 20s, some low 30s, still hovering around the freezing mark in some locations. A little bit warmer down to the south at 35 for Prairie du Chien. We'll also hold on to the cloud cover as we go through the day. So we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies and then some sunshine for La Crosse by the morning hours. Finish out. We get into the afternoon. We're still holding on to partly to mostly cloudy skies, getting into cloudier conditions as we go right back into the 5 o'clock hour into your evening commute. Then everybody's in the cloudiness. We'll also pick up the same for Eau Claire, starting out with some sun, some clear skies, mostly cloudy skies, getting back into partly cloudy conditions, back into the cloudiness as we finish out with some nighttime rainfall on the way. Highs today, mostly upper 40s to around the widespread 50s for you. And as you can see, we're going to go into some warming conditions as we go right back into Friday. Be out there, be safe, and have a wonderful day. Back to you.
In your morning consumer news, the clock is ticking on tax season. As of today, you have just 3 weeks left to file your return. The deadline is April 15th. The IRS is encouraging you to be mindful of the upcoming deadline and use digital tools. There is also an option to request an extension, which would push your deadline to October 15th. Gas prices in Wisconsin have surged above $3 for the first time this year. As of March 25th, the average price for a regular gallon of gas was $3.05, nearly 10 cents more expensive than last week. Gas prices normally rise as refineries switch from a cheaper winter blend. A Coca-Cola recall is issued in Illinois and Wisconsin for possible plastic contamination. About 10,000 cans are involved in the recall. So far, no word on anyone getting ill. And the cost of college has skyrocketed in the last 30 years. To help make a degree more accessible to some, Harvard University recently announced they'll offer free tuition for students from families making $200,000 or less. Undergraduate tuition was roughly $56,000 this year at Harvard. Jen Sullivan looks at why college is so expensive.
The cost of college has risen dramatically in the last 3 decades. Inflation and increasing operating costs have caused colleges to charge more. They're also receiving less federal funding.
There's no doubt that college in the U.S. is expensive.
Alex Gailey is an analyst at financial company Bankrate. They recently broke down the cost of tuition plus fees like room and board for this current academic year and estimated the average in-state tuition and room and board at a public four-year college was nearly $25,000 a year. Out-of-state students paid an average of $44,000 a year. A private four-year college costs close to $59,000 a year.
I think people just aren't feeling like maybe the ROI of college degrees is the same as it was a few decades ago.
There are things students can do to lower some of these costs.
One way to immediately cut down the cost of college is being willing to attend a college that is near where you live and living at home.
Consider attending a community college and then transferring to a four-year college. Apply for work-study jobs. Look into financial help like student loans, scholarships, and grants. And choose a degree with a positive return on your investment.
That's Look at Your Consumer News. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got a look at our forecast.
All right, back into your highs today. If you're just joining us, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the upper 40s, widespread 50s in your forecast. When we be in and out of the clouds today, we'll take it down to at least mostly sunny and then get into some sunshine for some locations today, and then bring those clouds back into cloudiness to finish the remainder of your day going into your evening hours. We'll take a look here as we get into it. Some of the clouds now that we've had are kind of exiting out as that rainfall that we picked up a little bit, not much on the ground though, or not any on the ground at all. That's tracked out of the way. So we'll go into the 8 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock hour, and 10 o'clock hour, holding on to some sunnier skies, trying to break free into the areas here with some clouds coming back again as we go into the afternoon and into the evening hours. You can see them slowly but surely picking up from the north along I-94, then filling in for the region as we go into the evening hours. Then take a look. You've got over to the west, some rainfall trying to pick up and move into the forecast area here slowly but surely. Right now, some of the models are saying, yeah, we're going to put you right on top of Eau Claire as well as La Crosse, and then kind of move you down southeastward. But we're also looking at this kind of staying a little bit along the river, getting into Preston as well as Decorah, then picking up some more of that rainfall, getting into Prairie du Chien and finishing out. Maybe even brushing areas as you get into Winona, possibly even Sparta as well as La Crosse, kind of going into the overnight hours, into the wee hours of the morning, into sunrise. And that looks like it could hit us going into the nighttime. It's about a 50% chance of that occurring. We'll go right back into highs for Thursday, though. We're looking at temperatures widespread in the 50s, some 60s in there, those lower 60s, with again partly cloudy skies with increasing clouds on the way. Temperatures are going to bump up as we go into the next few days, though, taking us right up to upper 70s, widespread in the 70s as well. Then boom, we drop you back down to the 50s on Saturday with rain and snow mix in the forecast, 45 degrees as we go into our high for Sunday. Here's a look at how this all happens. We shake it up on Friday with a little thunderstorm activity at night. Then we bring it back into some, well, a mix of rain and snow. Most of the rain and snow as we go all the way into Sunday is going to stay up to the north, and eventually the mix is happening between Eau Claire and La Crosse. More of that rainfall is down to the south, as you can see, and then eventually it all begins to sag down and pretty much brings more rainfall all the way out to Chicago, as well as the rain and snow here locally for us. Finishing out, that's going to carry over into Monday in the morning hours, and then possibly we'll see that linger into the evening for some folks as we go into Monday and into early Tuesday morning. We could see a little bit of slick roadways for your commute. Here we have it, warming up temperatures with, again, an 80% chance of rainfall turning into snow. That carries over to a mix of rain and snow on Sunday as a 50% chance, and then dropping it down as we go into Monday, carrying over to the possibility of more rain coming back again for Wednesday. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Art, thank you. Coming up, when loud snoring becomes a medical emergency, the new information you need to hear after your morning sports blitz.
Coming up in the Blitz, a Bucks star sidelined for an indefinite amount of time, plus new women at the helm of the Wisconsin women's basketball program. Keep it right here.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $60 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in. Trade it in. The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in. Trade it in. If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in. Trade it in.
At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no-interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale. Trade it in!
Increase your home's energy efficiency and enjoy year-round comfort with Asher Lasting Exteriors. Our windows and doors combine quality craftsmanship and cutting-edge innovation from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen. Join us for our spring open house Friday and Saturday, April 4th and 5th at either showroom in Eau Claire or Onalaska. Enjoy super spring savings with up to 25% off your entire project. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months at Asher Lasting Exteriors.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil. Your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose American Waterworks.
There's been a lot of talk about this Supreme Court race, but here's what's really at stake. Brad Schimmel wants to make sure women don't have the right to make their own health care decisions. If he wins, that right is gone. I'm Susan Crawford, a former prosecutor, a common sense judge, and a mom. And I trust women to make their own health care decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $60 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
News 8 Now, Sports.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, the transfer portal is open for collegiate players, but the coaching carousel making some headlines as well. The Badgers have a new woman who will look to revive the ladies basketball program. It was announced yesterday that Robin Pingeton is taking over the reins as head coach of Wisconsin. She comes to Madison from Missouri, where she was the head coach of the Tigers for 15 seasons. Pingeton had a 250 and 218 record in Columbia and reached 4 straight NCAA tournaments from 2016 to 2019. Back on February 26th, she announced that she would be resigning at the end of Missouri's season, and the Tigers finished with a 14-18 record. Badgers AD Chris McIntosh with a statement on the hire, in part saying she has accomplished so much as a coach and has produced winners both on the court and in the classroom. Robin has Midwest roots and coaching experience, and she and her family will fit right into our local community as well as our state. Pingeton takes over a program that last had a winning season during the 2010-2011 campaign when the Badgers finished 16-15. And news yesterday dropping in the NBA, Bucks guard Damian Lillard has been diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis, which in simpler terms is a blood clot in his right calf. The team announcing that he is out indefinitely. And the good news in all this, obviously the doctor's catching this in time and that he's on blood thinning medication, which has stabilized the clot. Milwaukee GM John Horst said the situation unlikely to occur again, but the team wants to make sure it is safe for him to come back. Bucks will take on the 3 seed in the West tonight, the Nuggets. Nice little throwback logo for you right there. Nikola Jokic doubtful in the contest with an ankle injury. And it is the last of a 5-game West Coast road trip. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Love it.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Right now, lease a new 2024 Tacoma TRD Sport for $359 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. Wednesday is wing night at River City Grill. 5 delicious wings for only $5. And $1 off all domestic beers. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
How corrupt is Brad Schimmel? Let's count the ways. 1. Schimmel gave a plea deal to a man caught with child porn after the man's lawyer gave his campaign thousands of dollars. 2. Schimmel let 6,000 rape kits sit untested for years, then lied about it. 3. Schimmel took thousands in campaign contributions from opioid makers, then refused to go after them when opioid deaths spiked. That's Brad Schimmel, and he's way too corrupt for the Supreme Court.
Are you finding bathing and bathroom business has gotten more difficult? Bad hips, bad knees can pose a problem. Just getting up and down can be risky. There is a simple, affordable solution. In just a day or two, you can have a beautiful new walk-in shower, safe and easy to care for with grab bars, a handheld shower, and a seat if you like. Set an appointment with one of our designers to plan your new bath. Better products at lower prices because we care. The Board Store.
Out-of-state special interests are trying to buy a Supreme Court seat for Susan Crawford. Why? Because Crawford supports their radical agenda, and I'm not okay with any of it. Let transitioning male teachers use my girls' bathrooms at school, allow boys to compete against them in sports, giving puberty-blocking drugs to children without parents' consent. That's who Susan Crawford sides with, and I'm not okay with any of it.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. Wednesday is wing night at River City Grill. 5 delicious wings for only $5. And $1 off all domestic beers. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Hey, there he is. Let's do this. Right now, you can get 1.99% APR for 72 months on a tough new Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, the National Institutes of Health freezes dozens of HIV-based research grants as part of President Trump's budget cuts. That move aligns with the president's executive order targeting what he calls wasteful spending. The United Nations warns AIDS-related deaths will surge globally without U.S. financial support. Federal data shows 1.2 million Americans currently have HIV, a disease that has killed more than 700,000 Americans since 1981. The FDA, meanwhile, approving the first new oral antibiotic for UTIs in decades. The new medication will be sold under the brand name Blujepa and available later this year. It's approved for females 12 and older with uncomplicated infections. UTIs cause roughly 8 million emergency room visits and 100,000 hospitalizations in this country every year. About half of all women will have one at some point in their lives. This National Sleep Month, a new survey reveals many Americans suffer from sleep apnea and aren't getting the treatment they need. Michael George has more on this common disorder.
Thomas Dewey has been snoring for 20 years. The 59-year-old tried a dental device and nose strips. A few months ago, his wife told him it was getting worse.
My wife started saying, "You're scaring me. I want to wake you up because you're struggling to breathe."
Thomas, who's recently retired and very active, also noticed he was feeling tired.
I started feeling a bit tired during the day. I'm a very active guy. I'm rehabbing my house in Florida. I have no reason to feel sleepy during the day.
A sleep test reveals he suffers from sleep apnea. New research from the National Sleep Foundation finds while nearly 90% of Americans say it's a serious condition to be treated, nearly 1/3 diagnosed are not currently being treated.
You're at increased risk for cardiovascular events, metabolic disorders, cognitive dysfunction, emotional and mental health problems.
The report estimates about 30 million Americans suspect they have sleep apnea and have not been diagnosed. And while most of the population knows CPAP is a frontline treatment option, they aren't aware of other options.
Things like lifestyle changes, diet, drinking behavior, smoking, exercise, surgical options, implantable medical devices. There are mandibular advancement devices.
Thomas is looking forward to when his CPAP machine arrives.
Waking up not tired, waking up refreshed, not feeling sleepy during the day.
He's glad he listened to his wife so everyone can start sleeping better.
The report also shows only 1 in 4 Americans can identify health consequences of untreated sleep apnea. Commander James LeCourcier Jr. is traveling the country as part of the Legion's Be the One tour. Yesterday, he stopped in La Crescent. That tour aims to raise awareness for the American Legion's mission to prevent veteran suicide.
We're finding out that everybody's striving for the same purpose. It's just a matter of taking the right steps. And that purpose is for a better community, at a better state, and a better nation, overall.
Says he'll gear up for the Legion's European tour after this one is finished. Your sandwich purchase today could help Wisconsin athletes with special needs. It is Jersey Mike's 15th annual Day of Giving. All 47 Wisconsin locations will donate 100% of today's sales, not just profits, to Special Olympics Wisconsin. Last year, the chain raised $25 million during their month of giving.
We are just really, as an organization, we are really thankful for this partnership. It is a huge deal for us to to have such strong community, mission-driven folks that are, that we partner with in our communities.
During March, customers have the option to round up their purchase to the nearest dollar for an extra donation. Tonight, gather around the fireplace for free family storytelling. The Nature Place will host its monthly Fireside Stories event from 5 to 6. Tonight's special guest storyteller is Delana Leon from the Main Library in La Crosse. Families can enjoy hot drinks, snacks, and activities related to the stories. No registration is required for the free event. Draft Day could be adoption day for some lucky dogs. A Green Bay Animal Sanctuary is running a special NFL draft party, or PAWDY. The Happily Ever After Sanctuary wants draft visitors to foster shelter pets while they're in town. Located just a mile from Lambeau Field, the shelter hopes to score new homes for their animals.
Check out who's currently in our care within our adoption program, and those are going to be the very animals that are looking for places to come. In addition to that, between now and the draft, as mentioned, our operations are going to continue to flow, which means there's going to be new dogs and cats coming into our care all the time.
What an unforgettable draft souvenir, right? There's no cost to participate in the fostering program. We'll send it over now to Art. He's got a look at our forecast. I know you thought that husky was cute, Art.
Oh, yeah, a little bit cute. Did you notice that the guy that was talking there kind of looked like Steph Curry a little bit as well? How about that? Hey, we get into it here, having a little bit of light moisture, nothing really hitting the ground there. Clouds are holding on to at least partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll see some of that continue on throughout the day, and I'm talking about the cloud cover. Rainfall doesn't come back till later on tonight. In fact, we'll see that getting through your evening and getting the overnight, possibly into Thursday morning. So you may see a little bit of light sprinkles, maybe a light shower going into your morning commute for tomorrow. That being said, you can see it. We've got the cloud cover. We have the sunshine coming in the forecast as well. Back to the clouds, back to the sunshine, back to the clouds for La Crosse. That's going to be the story for the day. While Eau Claire is holding on to mostly cloudy skies, getting into that all the way down to partly cloudy skies by the 10 o'clock hour. Then, of course, we'll see that carry over into the afternoon as well, then increasing the clouds for you. Kids going to school today, quiet and calm, 30 degrees, just about a degree or so difference from yesterday. So you're going to be on the warmer side of that. You're also looking at 56 degrees for the afternoon. Clouds coming back again, also holding on to Eau Claire, doing similar conditions where you're going to be seeing 28 degrees there. 53 degrees here, about 3 degrees warmer than you were experiencing just from yesterday. So get out, enjoy it, and have a wonderful day out there.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Hayden is turning 8. She loves to spend time with her family and friends and make them laugh.
And Evelyn is also turning 8. She loves hugs and spending time with her friends, family, Liam, and mom. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. So upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
By women, for everyone. Next, meet the team bringing stories of women adventurers to the big screen at the Rivoli Theater.
Working with Maxwell White was amazing. They were professional, answered all of my questions.
I give Maxwell White my highest possible recommendation. Maxwell White did a fabulous job on our show.
5-star plumbing service done right.
Brad Schimmel is lying about Susan Crawford's views on protecting kids, just like he lied about rape kits and let child molesters off easy, even blaming child victims. The truth, Susan Crawford is a former prosecutor, a common-sense judge, and a mom. And unlike Schimmel, she's always protected our kids, at school and everywhere else.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford, and I'll always follow the law and use common sense to decide what's right and what's wrong.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
In 1925, a new furniture store opened its doors in Fountain, Minnesota. The business was called the Fountain Furniture Company. Today, 100 years and 4 generations later, we're Drury's, where you'll find a focus on principles that have given us staying power. Handle quality furniture, maintain a professional staff, and a commitment to customer service. We invite you to stop in and find out for yourself how this big store in a tiny town has lasted. Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, family owned for 100 years.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside.
Let us take care of you. With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in. Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right. If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
Have you checked your sump pump lately? After a big rain, basement flooding can significantly damage your home. Stay ahead and dry with a call to Maxwell White. We have standard pumps along with battery backup systems in case you lose power. Prevent future damage. Contact Maxwell White today.
All right, welcome back as we get into your forecast. Away we go. Near seasonal average temperatures today. Tomorrow we get back to the mild. Then Friday we're widespread in the 70s. Yeah, that's right. Not going to break any records though. I believe the next record from that daytime is like 82 degrees, so we're not even close to that. But once we get into it, temperatures today, the upper 40s to around widespread 50s in your forecast. In and out of the cloud cover as we go through today. So we're also going to be seeing at the 7 o'clock hour for sunrise. Temperatures starting out in the upper 20s. We'll see some low 30s just around freezing. In fact, we're maybe a degree or so warmer than we were 24 hours ago. We'll take it back into the 10 o'clock hour. Temperatures still holding on to some 30s for some up north along I-94 there, getting into temperatures still around 38 or so, getting on portions of areas by La Crosse, and then warmer down to the south. By the noon hour, everybody's pretty much in the widespread 40s there, as you can see, touching into clouds increasing as we go to the daytime around, say, 4 o'clock to in the afternoon going into the evening hours. Then we see those clouds really start to move in. Back to cloudy conditions with rainfall sneaking in from the west. We'll see that continue on as it gets closer to cross the river. As we go right back into it, you're going to be seeing right along the 11 o'clock hour down by Prairie du Chien, and then eventually that starts to track a little bit more so towards the east, and we may see some of that rainfall kind of move in as we go into the 3 o'clock hour in the morning, getting closer to Winona as well as Eau Claire, and then right back down to areas for La Crosse as well. You can see it coming in. It's a little more limited though. We're seeing that in the 5 o'clock hour leading into sunrise time, and that's a good possibility of getting some rainfall in the forecast. There's a look at how this all tracks in. By 7 o'clock tomorrow, you're seeing that rainfall kind of move through the forecast area, then beginning to back off once we get in the 10 o'clock hour tomorrow. Your zones are showing at least mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, so your forecast, maybe some added sunshine in the forecast as well. Down to the south, we're looking at mostly sunny skies all the way up to at least partly cloudy skies. Temperatures widespread in the 50s. Then we touch the central zone, holding on again, partly cloudy skies for you again with increasing clouds to the north by Whitehall. Temperatures in the middle 50s there for you as well. Back up to the north, Ladysmith holding on to cloudier skies, holding on to at least partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, getting into Eau Claire for you to finish out the day. Highs for Thursday, mostly 50s and some 60s in your forecast, down to those lower 60s. We have partly cloudy skies for you with the clouds on the increase, and that's why we're going to hold on to more rain and snowfall coming in for Friday. The possibility of some Saturday rainfall and thunderstorm activity coming into your forecast, and that'll take all the way over into portions of Sunday going into Monday with snow on the ground. Take a look what I've got going on for you here over the next few days though, and away we go. Temperatures on the increase as we go through the next few days, building up to temperatures dropping down after our snow and mix of rainfall, getting into your forecast, maybe a little wet on the roadways for Tuesday with a little light snow on the ground, and then by Wednesday we're back in the rainfall once again.
Thank you, Art. New this morning, an all-female film festival celebrating women adventurers is coming to La Crosse next week. The No Man's Land Film Festival is entirely planned and produced by women, showcasing powerful stories of female and gender-diverse explorers in the outdoors. We're joined by some of the organizers this morning. Good morning, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We're excited to hear more. Yeah, sounds very interesting. What should we know about the film festival?
So, yeah, it's going to be at the Rivoli. We're really excited to be hosting. La Crosse Adventure Film is once again bringing a
really unique festival to the area. It has about 9 films in it, and like you said, it features all women and women film producers, film directors, and then also women are the center of the film as well. It comes out of Denver, and it's been going there for about 10 years, but this is the first year that we're doing it here in La Crosse.
Okay, and it's starting Friday.
Friday,
Correct.
yep, Friday
Okay.
evening. It'll be Friday evening, and it's just that evening.
Okay, just Friday night. So we've got some information up on the screen if anybody is interested in looking at that.
Yeah, so what are some of the stories you can tell us about?
Yeah, there's a wide variety of films that we're going to be showing. They range from 1.5 minutes to 17 minutes, so there's really everything in between. See kiteboarding, skeleton racing, incredible art mixed with adventure. There's an Indigenous Women Outdoors group that will be featured as well, talking about the generational approach to experiences. So it's a really great opportunity to come out and see a wide range of films.
Yeah, a lot of ground covered there. Okay, and so it is unique in being completely female-led and focused on women in outdoor adventure. Why is this kind of representation important?
I think it's important for girls and women to see themselves represented out in the outdoors. I think that a lot of times we inadvertently encourage women to be safe, right? If you talk to someone about a trip they're taking, a lot of times the first thing someone will ask a woman is, oh, is that safe to do alone? Is that safe for you to do? And I think this whole series shows that yes, you know, of course be prepared, of course be ready, but that you can go out as a woman and explore just as much as a man can and live that kind of life. That it's not just something for men to do and that women can do it as well.
Okay, yeah,
and
very
probably
cool.
be even better than that as well.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, I had a friend who was she was a television director, and then she was kind of mild and kind of meek, and then she decided, you know what, I'm changing my life. So now she like works for Red Bull, she runs marathons, she does all this wild stuff, and she's just fantastic. So these stories are going to be awesome.
Yeah, there's a really, I mean, all of them are amazing, but there's a really one that speaks to me a lot. It's a young woman, and she's out, and she basically is talking about how the whole world feels like her home because she goes and explores and she camps out and she climbs and things like that. And in it, she talks about her mom. She grew up with a mom who told her it's your life and you can do with it what you want. And I just think the more of us, all of us need to hear that all the time, not just women, but it's great for women to be encouraged that way as well.
Yeah, of course, and uplifted and motivated by the stories, I'm sure. So it is a free event. Do we need to reserve tickets, or how do we get our tickets?
So you can reserve tickets through the Beer by Bike Brigade app, BBBB. If that's BBBB, if that is giving anyone any headache, though, you can definitely go to the website, La Crosse Adventure Film, and you can email us there, and you can reserve tickets that way. It is a completely free event. We are super excited to have everybody come out for it. We do encourage people to get there early. The doors open at 5, and the show starts at 6, so as close to 5 as you can get there is great.
Okay, and that is this Friday. And then quickly before we go, why would you encourage people to attend? Maybe they haven't checked out anything like this before.
I mean, the Adventure Film Festival nights, so we do them almost every quarter with La Crosse Adventure Film. They are one of the most fun events that we do at the Rivoli. They've been doing them with us since my brothers and I bought the theater back in November. Okay. It's a packed house. It's really fun. Even if you don't want to go outdoors, it's still amazing to see the whole world and everybody out in it. And it's kind of like a fun party, encouraging atmosphere, I think. So it's really fun. It's family friendly, so you can bring the kids and have a night out. It's a good time.
Okay, it sounds like it. Yeah. You wanted to add something quickly?
Yeah, I was going to say we're also going to be featuring Real Girls in La Crosse at the event. So it's a group that gets girls out running, but also learning how to be leaders and engage in the community. So they're going to be featured at the event. So for anyone coming, know that it's a kid-friendly event. So bring your family. Awesome. And we're excited to have people there.
Okay, sounds great.
Filmmakers too, right?
Yes, we love that.
Yeah. All right, thank you ladies again.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us, we're back right after this.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions, with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
A1 Vacuum Sales and Service has been part of the La Crosse area for 75 years. And so we thank you for that opportunity and for supporting the area's largest vacuum store for all these years. Our mission is to provide great service and offer quality products that stand the test of time. And we will continue to be part of this wonderful area we call home. Leave a legacy that isn't plastic in a landfill and support the store that supports you. Thank you for your business.
A1 Vacuum. Our business is picking up.
A criminal illegal gang member abused a child here in Wisconsin. Now, President Trump's fighting back, but a liberal judge ordered deportation flights to be turned around. We don't need another liberal judge. We need Brad Schimmel, a judge and prosecutor backed by law enforcement. Schimmel protected victims and safeguarded kids. Tough on crime, unwavering in justice. Vote Brad Schimmel on April 1st. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
These are real people seeking solutions to real pain.
I have plantar fasciitis.
My feet, my knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports. Clinically proven. Significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm not feeling any pain. My heel, that's where I always feel it.
Pressure off your knees?
Yeah, actually. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
It's not very often a fella gets to offer the best products in the marketplace at a price lower than most others. When I look at this beautiful showroom, when I consider the quality of our products and the team of 80 exceptional professionals, we should be higher priced, but we're not. If you have any doubts for your next home improvement project, you should contact the Board Store today. It's not all the sales and discounts, it's the bottom line that counts, and you'll get no better bottom line than at the Board Store Home Improvements.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time.
Welcome back at 6:52. Time for your morning news now. A former Minnesota state senator faces a judge today after new evidence surfaces. Justin Eichhorn was one of 13 men arrested last week in a prostitution sting targeting those looking for underage victims. Prosecutors blocked his planned release to a halfway house after finding a gun and wiped phone in his apartment. Bloomington's police chief suggesting this may not have been his first attempt at soliciting a minor.
But the only time we caught him here was in Bloomington. But I will say that the language that he used is indicative of someone who this is not their first time.
Governor Tim Walz announcing a special election for Eichhorn's seat will be held next month. Eichhorn is set to appear in court at 10:15 today. Happening today, UW La Crosse students will march for gender equality and campus safety during the Women for Women's March. That event starts with sign making at 11 a.m., followed by a rally at the campus clock tower at noon. Organizers from college Democrats and college feminists have invited all students and community members to participate. U.S. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said on Fox News last night he takes full responsibility for the security breach where sensitive military plans were disclosed on the Signal messaging app, and a journalist was inadvertently invited into that chat. Top Democrats are calling for Waltz and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to resign. President Trump is standing by them. We asked Congressman and veteran Derek Van Orden about it. He wrote in a statement, quote, "If it was an administrative error, there should be administrative consequences. If this was done in a criminal manner, there should be criminal consequences." And today marking 1 year since the devastating collapse of Baltimore's Key Bridge, 6 construction workers died after falling into the river. The NTSB report shows the container ship Dolly lost power after leaving port, then struck a bridge pillar. None of the crew members have been charged in connection with the crash as investigators continue working. Help is on the way for La Crosse parents struggling to find childcare. When parents can't find reliable childcare, they can't go to work, which hurts local employers. The new Together We Can initiative aims to solve that crisis. The program, created by the Parenting Place and the city, will reimburse La Crosse employers up to 50% when they partner with local childcare providers.
Whether that be reserved childcare slots, waitlist priority, tuition discounts, that partnership is up to the employer and the childcare programs.
There are some general requirements, like both the child care provider and employer must be located in La Crosse. Iowa is preparing for severe weather today. The state's Homeland Security launches a statewide tornado drill at 10 a.m. Tornado sirens and weather radios will sound across the state. It comes during Severe Weather Awareness Week for Nebraska and
And that's a good thing, too, because we may see some thunderstorm activity coming in Friday night, going into early Saturday. In fact, we have temperatures on the rise as we go right into Friday. We could see widespread 70s in your forecast with snow and a mix of rain and snow coming in Saturday, going into Sunday as well. Then we'll see some of that rain and mix turn into snow for Monday. In fact, we'll even see some of that spill over into Tuesday for your morning commute. Could be some slick roads out there.
They're very misunderstood. They're very sweet. They're so, their personalities are extremely social. They're very sensitive.
When you think of emotional support animals, you probably don't think of a skunk, but that's what Mr. Sushi is, a fully domesticated, descented skunk registered as an emotional support animal. His owner has been taking him to places across Iowa, including the Coralville Police Department. Iowa is one of just 17 states where domesticated skunks are legal pets, and Alberts is working to get Mr. Sushi certified as a therapy animal. He's also developing a nonprofit. He is so cute. Look at him, Art. I know you think he's cute. It kind of looks like, I don't know, like a mink or something. I don't know if I would think it's a skunk. I think it looks, yeah, like a mink or a ferret or something. It is descented, which I did not know was possible, but that is a surgical procedure. I should Google that one.
I don't know.
No comment.
No comment. But I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day.